Welcome back, everyone. This is jtmplays, and we are back with yet another episode of Captain of Industry. Today, we've got a lot to do, but we have pretty much reached the point where we are in equilibrium. We are doing pretty good as far as material production here. We got maintenance up at 100%. We are producing construction parts. We've got 2,500 construction part ones, 1.9K construction part twos, and we are producing construction part threes. Now, I did do a little bit of TLC here while off camera, and one thing that I did was expand on my power because we were running super low on power here. I do have these guys running here consuming diesel. Also, take a look at our diesel factory. Look at that. Look at all the diesel that we have. Look at all the fuel gas and all this hydrogen that we're using as well. In addition, I have started producing plastic because we're going to need it here for this episode. I've added a couple of polymerization plants that are producing plastic with naphtha and a little bit of chlorine. We have a whole storage full here. And I have also set up a little factory here to produce graphite. We are going to need graphite for a few things. And those things are going to be the following. We're going to need silicone. So where's our silicone here? Here we go. We're going to need silicone in order to produce silicone poly. And then we're going to need the silicone poly to produce electronics too. We also need to start producing PCBs. PCBs are easy, just made out of glass, plastic, and copper. So those need to be produced as well. I did want to get that going on the bus, but we don't really have space for the bus. Also, take a look at what I did on my bus here. I have set up storages coming right off of the unloading stations so that trains don't sit around here trying to unload all of their materials. So that way we get everything unloaded as quickly as possible. Throughput here on these guys are now is 600, and on these storages it's 900, which is actually super high. That's nice. And with that, we have a pretty good system here going with our trains coming in and out. I'm going to speed things up here so that we can start making some progress. Another thing that we're doing is not researching. We're not researching because we have researched everything that we could research. And I guess we haven't researched this because this is fruit and this is canola. So that means our ship here has to make a couple of trips. So I'm going to set him off here to do some exploration, probably over here as well. So yeah, lots of things to explore. All of these things need to be explored so that we can gain access. Also, what is this here? This enemy needs to be defeated. What is that? What is that? That's a coal mine. So that we have two coal mines, one over here and one over there. Nice. If we ever run into some coal issues, we can get a ship going out there. Very well. Very good. We're not running into coal issues. The only issue that we have for coal right now is that it needs a handful of trains in order to deliver it to places, because it's being consumed very quickly, and so it's not letting the trains go to all of the stations. So here's what I've done. I now have 3 trains for coal, and I have set station limits to 1 train per so that they can gain access to, there's a lot of places where coal needs to be delivered. So right now, this is 1 station over here for our iron smelting. Coal also is delivered to the bus over here to get to the main island. We also have coal being delivered to our glass station over here, and we also have coal to copper. And so this is where it's not making it because we just don't have enough trains. The trains get tied up delivering to the glass, delivering to the bus, delivering to the iron smelting station, and they never make it. They never make it all the way out here because those guys are always requesting. These guys are always requesting coal. No matter what, they don't stop requesting coal. So maybe another train will help. I do have a limit here to 1 train, and then this is also 1 train. And then over here, we also have a limit to 1 train. And I guess I'm going to get a 4th train. Why not? Let's just do it. We should have the space to have these guys stack. That should be no problem. Let's see if I can just go ahead and copy this and build. Awesome. With the 4th train, I think we won't have an issue with the train trying to get here and delivering the coal. Okay. All right. Next order of business. What are we doing with copper? This copper smelting array needs to be updated, and it needs to be updated ASAP, like today, because if we don't do that, we're not going to keep up with the demand. What is our demand for copper? Our demand for copper is literally exactly what we're producing right now, and that is pretty bad. That is pretty bad. We need to increase the copper production So the way that we're going to do that is we need to upgrade these guys. We need to upgrade this blast furnace to a blast furnace level 2. We also need to start getting limestone over here. So we could get a quick little limestone station over here and then just transport the limestone over here. That should be no problem. That would be the simplest way of doing this. So let's get that going so that we can prep our little work here. We do have a limestone train delivering to places, right? Yeah. Yeah, we do have a limestone train. Okay, so if we got to just copy this and placed it right over here, and we would say this is now limestone, and we would change the name to stone. Save, and that is our little limestone train station that will need also a bucket, and we will say this is for limestone. And then we need to get one of these guys, and we need to get a belt. Yep, we just need to get this belt out and across the tracks this way, and we're done there. All right, we'll figure out what we're gonna do with this here. We just don't have the construction parts to make the upgrade, but at least we'll have the limestone ready to go over here. Now, let's add this limestone stop to the limestone schedule here. So all we need to do is add this there. We also have refueling stations. This goes to the group. Add to the group. There we go. The limestone train here picks where to go. If the station at the bus needs limestone, it'll go to the bus. If the glass station needs limestone, it'll go to the glass. If the copper outpost needs limestone, it'll go there. So those are 3 things, right? Yeah, those are 3 things that we needed to do. Okay, anything else that we've done here? Yeah, I think that's about it. That's about it. We are doing this, by the way. We just broke our pipes. That's no good. We need to fix this. Let's make sure that we're digging this way. Done. And let's reconnect our pipe here. This is our oil coming from. All right, as long as these guys are not digging, they're not breaking this pipe, we're fine. We're happy, right? We're happy. Yes. Okay, all right, this is being dug out because I need material to fill in all of this area here and this area here. So that's why I have an import route from here. These trucks, these guys that are assigned and digging here, have an import route, a mine control tower that is right over here, and this mine control tower is set to accept all of the deposits and fill in all of these holes here. Old mines. Okay, all right, so with that, we are looking a lot better, except that we are flickering on power. Why are we consuming so much power here? What are we doing? What's going on? What is the problem? Should be, let's see, 2 megawatts here. Are these guys not all spinning? They should all be spinning. Good, okay. What are you missing? Are you missing material? No, you're not even missing water. 48 and 48 should be enough for everything here. Right? One should be good. No flickering. Also, this is doing pretty well over here. This corn contract is amazing. Look at all the corn that we have. It is absolutely spectacular. Our guy is back and he's got some stuff. Can unload cargo. Cargo is shipyard is full. Don't I have storages here for this guy? For these guys, I do have storage. Why isn't it being unloaded? Please deliver. Please deliver here. Okay. Make these bigger storages. Make them bigger so that they can deliver here. Okay, good. This should be empty here momentarily. Oh no, because this stuff is in here. Let's discard that. Okay, let's send our ship out again to do some more exploration. You don't need anything there. Where did I want to send you? Oh, you went over here. Okay, so this is a water well. I think this is pretty much unlimited water here. If we did that, we could dedicate a ship to get water for us. But where I really want to go is I want to go discover these guys over here because they have stuff that we need. Those are loot islands, right? So we need to get to all of these guys over here if possible. So yeah. Okay. Let's go take a look at our other situations over here. We've got pretty much 2 trains of everything now. So this is the mechanical part train that only dispatches if that other station is requesting. This guy comes in, fills up, and waits here because only 1 train can be requested at a time. Whenever that train unloads there, then this train is sent out. And that way we don't have a train jam. How are these guys doing? Is this my new 4th train for coal? It looks like it is. So now we won't have an issue with delivering coal out here. I hope not. And this needs to be redesigned. I'm going to do something that's a little bit different here because once we upgrade to blast furnaces, we also need to get a crusher out here. Yes, we need to do so many things. Okay, so the whole point of this episode is to get our electronics 2 going. So here is what we need for electronics 2. We need to start producing graphite. In order to produce graphite, we need chlorine, we need some coal. That's going to give us graphite. It's also going to give us sour water. And that is why we are producing it over here, because this is where our sour water stripper is. We can just produce coal, and we have plenty of chlorine. Why isn't chlorine being picked up? Maybe because the trucks can't get in here because of the pipes. Let's fix that, please. Let's fix this as soon as possible. Trucks should be able to get in there, right? Why isn't that happening? Cancel that. Let me see. Trucks, pathing, they can get in here through kind of a lopsided way over. No reason for us not to be able to fix this here very quickly by demolishing this. Can we? What's going on? Come on. Delete, delete, delete. Delete. We have plenty of unity, so let's do that. Let's now reconnect you to there and you to. All right, perfect. And then you should be fine. It gives these guys access to here, right? Chlorine, this probably needs to be a little bit higher priority then. If that's a problem, we are having a truck issue. We don't have enough thing here, right? What's the problem? We got 24 idle vehicles that are assigned to things here. Let's start unassigning vehicles to unimportant things. These guys that are just kind of idling there. Let's see. Anyone else that's idling? All right, these guys are idling here. Let's make sure that we are removing that from here and here. Anyone else that is idling? You are idling, but you're assigned to a fuel station, so you can remain. Okay. Anyone else over here? This food truck here. Okay, you can be unassigned. Anyone else? Let's see. These guys are assigned to wood here. Cancel that. Cancel that, right? This is a high priority, so we don't need to assign trucks specifically there. Okay. Anyone else that's idle with nothing to do? What are you assigned to? Fuel station? What is this assigned to? What are you assigned to? Okay. I could remove this and put this at a little bit higher priority there. Okay, that should give us more trucks. Now, we are really not doing so well on hydrogen, so I'm thinking I could add some more trucks here that would be running on diesel. We do have a lot of diesel now. So I'm going to add maybe 10 more trucks here. And that is a significant amount. It's going to add to our maintenance here on, yeah, 10 more trucks is going to add probably a very good amount of maintenance there. So we have to tread lightly on how many trucks we can allow, right, at any time. But I think we can go with 180. That should be fine. 180 trucks should be fine. All right. Next order of business. We have the graphite. We're running graphite, right? This is being delivered now. This coal is also being delivered now. This chemical plant is producing the graphite. Awesome. And then we're going to get trucks to deliver graphite, although we should probably get graphite on a train. And that is completely doable over here, because we have a train coming in here already. And so what we would need to do would be probably branch out this way. Well, let's see if we can get these things removed from here. Right? I think that should be a thing that we do so that we can fill in all of this stuff, right? Okay. All right. What's next? This could be a graphite train, right? We could just do this. Are you not? Why wouldn't you accept that? Load. Why don't you like that connection? Oh, because you're wrong. You're wrong. That needs to be a unit station. So unit station. Something like that. Now, could we get 2 here? Man, awesome. Okay, and then we just get a station. That. Okay, and we can just pull from here. Oh, that's very nice. And I want to go in. All right, that's awesome. And that will be our graphite station. Give it a little bit more length there. Sweet. And then we can just call this Graphite Depot. I know that we're going to be producing more graphite later on, but we still don't have that recipe. That recipe is way out of there. So this for now would be fine, and we could just get a train here doing the stuff if we wanted to. Right? Yes, we can. Okay, you are loading. Perfect. All right, now, next order of business is this here. Arc furnace. Arc furnace is going to need some sand, it's going to need some coal, it's going to need some graphite, and then it's going to make some molten silicone, and then it's going to make some slag and some exhaust. Now, where do we want to place these bad boys? Right? Where do we want to place them? How's our steel production? What are we doing in terms of steel? 192 per minute. And we're consuming 104. I don't really see that going up anytime soon. But would it be advantageous for us to set up silicone processing over here? Probably not. Yeah, very likely not a good idea. Because we need to start then producing PCBs. The molten silicone turns into silicone poly off a silicone reactor, needs hydrogen. We're gonna need hydrogen. That's gonna be important. Silicone then is turned into electronics too, but we also need PCBs. PCBs need glass, needs plastic, and needs copper. And so we have glass and copper over here. Glass and copper here, but we can also deliver it on a train because those two are already on trains. So all we really need to do, what do we do? Do we produce PCBs? Glass and copper are already there. Plastic could also probably get a train station. It's right over here. And we have trains over here. Could we get a train over here? That's the question. That's the $1 million question. Could we splice train from here? And I needed to go this way. There. And if I could get the train coming in over here. Just need to get these pillars out of the way. A little bit further back. Hear me out. Go this way. Also a solution. Also a solution, because what we can do, copy this. Do this? Kind of, but no. So I could, let's remove. I'm gonna get these guys a little bit closer. All right, so you're gonna go here. Come out here, and you're going to be straight about a little bit out. Yes, this is good. Okay, and then you're going to be over here. Okay, and then we're going to copy this. You're going to go right over here. Instead of graphite, you're going to be plastic. We're going to copy and paste you. We're going to set this to no restriction. We just need to change the name, right? So this is Plastic Depot. Done. Save. Okay, and then this should work. And we could get a storage there. And then we could get the plastic over from here. You could go, yeah, up there. Why not? Why not? You can just come up here. And we will just do this. I think that's fine. I mean, I'm still building here, right? I should not be building on this island because this island's going to be my Manhattan Island. And so I only want to have housing here, and I want to move everything out of here. But that's a long ways out, I feel. And so we're just doing this, right? Let's get this going. Once we have the construction parts, this will be finished and that'll be fine. Let's see if we could get this into there. Okay, good. And so we're going to need a couple of trains here. So we need 2 sets of trains. They probably don't need to be that big. Okay, time out. Let's go look at our train. We need new lines. All right. So first line is going to be graphite line. Let's go ahead and set the material here to graphite. And so you're going to have this stop. And I'm also going to give you my refueling station, which is all the way out here. I need to probably add some more refueling station. And then you're going to need a couple of more stops, but we'll add that later. Let's go ahead and create the next stop. It's going to be a new line, and it's going to be my plastic line, and we're going to give it the colors. This line right here needs to have colors assigned. Perfect. Okay, we're going to do the same thing to these lines. Where's the line here? Where's my line manager? Line manager. This guy over here needs to have a stop. And the first stop is here. And the refuel line, that's right over there. Good. I also want to get a train line over here if possible. And we could connect it here, I guess? Maybe yes, maybe so. I don't know. I mean, it will eventually have to happen, right? I do want to get the loop-de-loop going if possible. Trains coming in this way, coming out that way. That's probably something that should happen. We'll see. We'll see. This is getting filled in here, so that's great. That's going to be good for us. Okay, all right. So this is good. This is good. We don't have anywhere to route our graphite to yet. Graphite and plastic, and what else did we need? We needed sand. Sand is over here. So, yeah, I'm thinking that we should... I don't really think we're going to need so much land here for farms, so we can just pull out over here and get our... What's it called? No, you know what? We have room. We're going to dedicate this area to farming, right? We're going to do that for farming. We have plenty of room over here. This is where we should be doing things. We're not really doing anything over here. So this could be used. I'm going to save it in case we wanted to expand and move all of our smelting to this one singular area here, because we could do that. We have room here to do all smelting areas, all smelting arrays over here. That's definitely possible. So let's move graphite production over here. Not graphite. Silicone. Silicone does need a bunch of similar items though, but that's fine. Okay, so arc furnaces. Where are my arc furnaces? Arc furnace needs sand, needs coal, needs graphite. Produces silicone. Molten silicone then gets turned into silicon poly. Oh wait, what is it that we're trying to produce PCBs? We don't have electronics on the train either. So is it time to start producing electronics and putting it on a train? It might be time. Where are we going to do that? It's going to be probably right here. It should definitely be here. Okay. All right. I think that we don't have the bandwidth to do what we want to do there. So I think PCBs should be produced here on the bus. How far away are we from construction parts 4? We are Research lab. 3. Oh, we're actually right here on the brink of construction part 4s. That does need electronic 3s. That means that we have mechanical parts and electronics 2 on trains. So this is going to need to happen right now for maintenance, by the way. Electronics 2 needs to go on the train. Let's make our electronics plant right over here. We have buses here, right? We have trains here. We need to start producing. First thing is going to be rubber. We need to start producing rubber. Also, why isn't this getting diesel? Did this pipe break again? Where are we in terms of pipe breakage? Good. We're good. Oh, right here. Broke the pipe. Didn't notice that. Let's fix that. This goes in right there. Oops, doesn't need to be that. That needs to be type 1, maybe type 2. But we'll upgrade this momentarily. Did that not connect? So built. Let's upgrade you to tier 2. And this is tier 2. Yes, that's tier 2. This is good. Okay, that's going to get our diesel where it needs to go. Awesome. All right. This needs to also be upgraded here. There we go. Done. Okay. All right. Now, I really don't want to build here. This is my room to expand. This needs to be cleaned up, though. We need to fix this. Get that out of there. And let's get a connection here. Maybe over here? Yeah, right here feels better. There, and there. Okay, that is cleaner. Make sure that there's fuel out here. Perfect. That leaves me room to expand copper production if needed. The next thing here is going to be this water pipe that is a little bit in the way. If we wanted to get rubber production really quickly, because all we need is the sulfur that's over here. Sulfur in rubber maker. Polymerization plant. It's just sulfur and naphtha. Or diesel and naphtha. Have the diesel here. Certainly produce the rubber. Get this over here. Just make some rubber here. Oops. 1, 2. I don't know how much rubber we need, but this should be fine. Let's get this out here. There. And then all we need is the diesel. That's going to come from here. Do we not have? What is it that we don't have? Get you there. This needs to go here. And let's get you across. Get you across the tracks. Some way, somehow. Over here. And okay, perfect. This is good. This is good. That's fine. This is fine. This is making rubber. Done. Good. I could just get this on a train right now. It's also a possibility. We're out of population. Why are people dying? When did we lose population? What's going on? Oh, we've never started producing household goods either. What's going on? Did we have a disease? Air pollution's high again. Not that bad. Might be the power fluctuation thing. All right. That's fine. Let's finish this. Let's get rubber into a storage. So this is just going to go in here. This one goes there. And this one goes in here. We're going to build that. We're still missing construction parts, which is going to happen. Let's pause these two. We don't need to run those. This is diesel on sulfur equals rubber. We're just waiting on the diesel to trickle in. Right. I think this upgrade here. Anyone else? This one probably needs to be upgraded. And we're good here, I hope. Yeah, we should be fine. Okay, this is my rubber. This is my rubber. Also, why are you coming over here to pick up seeds when the seeds are over here? Oh, man. Whatever. Whatever, man. Just do your thing. I just need you to do your thing. Okay, all right. We have copper. We have rubber. That means we can produce electronics here. Electronics needs to go on a track, right? So let's get that going. Get that going. Tracks. We got a train coming in from here, and it could be a very long station like this. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that actually. I would like for it to be shorter. Like for it to look like this. Want a clear in and out. What I need. So wanted to do electronics. Where would we put electronics? Electronics would probably go over here. 1, 2, 3. We would get rubber out of here, there, and there, and then we would get flat lift there and there. This would just be copper coming out of here and into here. This would be electronics, set recipe, electronics here, copy, paste, all the copper that each array produces. Definitely need more copper production. Let me get this pipe, this water pipe out of here. It's really bugging me. It is really bugging me. Let's get you, come on, connect. Hello? There. Get you over here. And finally, there. All right. There we go. Now we have room. These are electronics. Electronics would go into a train or a station. That would be following. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into station, buildings, unit stations. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus a station. We'll call this. Now I know this isn't the best electronics depot. Probably is not the best use of this, but I do want to get electronics on the rail network. And then that way we can request all of the items that we need in a different fashion, right? Yeah. What do we do next? What is the next step of the process here? Once we have electronics being produced here with our copper coming in this way, the next step is getting PCBs, because we need 12 plus these PCB boards that we're not doing yet. And that's glass, plastic, and copper. Glass, plastic, and copper. If we were to produce glass, plastic, and copper, or we are producing glass, plastic, and copper, and those are all on trains as well. Timeout. Timeout. All of a sudden, these farms here aren't in a good position. We can move them over here. I think I'm going to make some room here. Certainly am going to make some room here. Let's move these guys here. I'm also going to be changing this layout here to something like this. However, I feel like I need room to grow rubber production if needed. Maybe this might be enough until endgame. It might be enough till endgame. Or I could just right over here. It will allow me to add one more rubber facility, right? Will. Yeah, let's go this way. Yeah, let's try again. Okay, we got trains here, and this is coming out this way. Perfect. Last but not least, we need belts to be set to. Right? Is that right? Right. Okay. Also, we do. Yeah, let's leave with that room to grow. Okay, so you're entering the space here, and you're going to be exiting. Just go this way. This is the exit. Always the exit. Okay. And this would be the entrance. We're going to try to hug the entrance here as much as possible. And I just get a circle. And I just get a circle. Okay. All right. How about that? I'm happy with that. That allows multiple trains to queue up if needed. Allows multiple trains to queue up. Do we have this here that can be removed? This. What's going on with the tracks over here? Train tracks. Flip you there. In and out. Perfect. Okay. This takes up some space, but it's not that bad. I'm okay with that. Oh, this is not okay. Okay, maybe we don't need that. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Electronic station. All right. Next up is don't have a train for sand. But sand is probably would not be that important if we had access to the following. What is PCB again? No. Poly, PCB, glass, plastic, and copper. Glass, plastic, and copper. Glass, we have copper. And we would just need to request plastic from somewhere. We had the room. Guess we could just do it over here. Let's remove all of this from here. Doesn't need to be there anymore. Said we were going to do it over here. I have electronics there. Let's... We also have plenty of room out here. These guys have been sitting idle. Yep. Edit your area. Rectangle. Guys, work on all that, please. All right. Let's just go with a PCB factory. Let's start producing PCBs. How are we going to do that? We want to get the following things going, right? Train tracks, buildings. We said we needed. Let's get that PCB thing really quickly. Assembly. PCBs in a assembly line. Right here. All right. We need glass. Glass. We need also a station here now. Station. We can copy this. We need copper and plastic. Okay. We still are not requesting. We are still not requesting copper, plastic. Still not requesting or making poly. We're not making poly anywhere. But if my idea is correct, we could get the following things going. I want to get the train coming in and doing the same sort of loop that we did before. That we're going to get this. We're going to get some storages here. Where's my storage? Storage here. We get supposed to be unloading. Unload. Get these guys. 1, 2, 3. Essentially, what I want to do is really make closed loop. If I just did this, right? This would be a block. This would be like a city block. Train goes in. Train does a loop-de-loop. Has room to stop. And then it can just get back on the track, right? If we do this. Train can just go there and then back on the track. there. And if it wanted to, it could do this. And this could also do this. Need to pull out this way and then go this way. If it wanted to. Not saying that's what we want it to do, but this is a closed loop. And that means we could get this here into right here. This now comes a minibus. Minibus here, probably too big for my desired needs, but is a proof of concept. If we got all the materials here to create the following. This is going to be PCB. And then I guess we should start requesting the other things that we need, like polymer, right? In this area for electronics. So we would then also be requesting electronics as well as poly. And now is poly flat material? Yes. This would be electronics. Where's my electronics? This is copper. This is glass. And we're making PCBs here. Don't know how many we need, but we can make as many as we want. Yeah? Okay. We got glass, copper, plastic. We have PCBs. PCBs in turn go into this here. And that's just silicone and poly. So we have silicone and poly and electronic right there. Now, I don't believe we need PCBs for anything else except for that. And so what is the ratio? We need 6, produces 12. So then all we need is 3 of these or 2 of these if we wanted 4 of these. 1, 2, 3. Right? And if we wanted even more, do that. Or future expansions. It would only work of this off of this for. All right. Do we have room here for belts up here? Here, there, here, here, there, here, there, etc., etc. Perfect. And then we need electronics. Electronics will go this way into there, and silicone go into there. That all looks good to me. All right. Okay. And now that we have this ready, all we need to do now is get these guys into a sort of, and what I think I'm going to do is, if this is the entrance here, I'm going to get a station. Well, actually, yeah, we could do this, right? We could get a station here that just loops back in here, and we could get electronics on a station there, and that is going to be our electronics depot. Let's grab the buildings, and we're going to call this a unit station, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4 plus a station. We should just do 5 just in case. We'll do 5, and we'll put this guy right over here. And then this is where the train's going to come in and grab the items. Now I want to do this like that so that if a train needs to come in and park over here, it can do that. However, it looks like there might be an issue with that. So if we remove this and we select a starting position like this instead. Okay, so this works. Actually, that works perfectly. There. And now if we wanted to have two trains, we can have two trains coming in, one waiting for the other. Awesome. All right, this is going to be called Electronics 2 Station. Save. Done. This is perfect. This is good. And then we made this a little bit too big, maybe. Yeah, I think it might be a little bit too big. But this is input. This is output. And it works. It should work perfectly for me. I don't think I need anything else except for... Oh, except for this. Might be an issue, right? Because now we might have a backlog of trains here blocking the output. If this is the output. Although I don't know how dire that could be. I mean, perhaps we could get it. We could get the train to exit here. Could get the train to just exit there, right? Let's remove this. Let's grab this, and we'll get the exit. Oh no, because then now my trucks are blocked. Now my trucks are blocked. All right, that's no big deal. Let's just leave it as is and then deal with the consequences in a bit. Well, you know, what if we do this? We just kind of get this. We can get the output up here instead and then just jump right out this way. I think that would be a better idea. Let's just go with this. All right, let's just go with this. Let's go this way into there. That's a little bit too close, it looks like. So let's go this way into here. And this should work. Perfect. Okay. All right. Let's go in there. And let's grab this. And this is going to be an exit there. And so the trains that are coming this way can just come in, make their stops this way. All right, that works. That works for me. And then there's a lot of dead space here. I'm not sure what to do with it, but it's okay. This is a rather small square. Maybe I can shorten this. I can cut a lot of this, and I could still have room there and there, and I could still have room to exit from here. Let's do the following here so that we can connect easier. It'll give us the option to connect our tracks a little bit better. Go from there to here. Make this a little bit more narrow. There and then there. All right, this works perfect. And so the tracks are now together and we can plug this in like this without the looping. Please do not connect there. No. Okay, perfect. This works for me. That gives waiting room here, just in case. Just in case. All right, and that is a nice little loop that works for us. All right, so we've got this, and we now have to get storage for our electronics, which will live. Maybe it should be a 4-wagon train. Probably do 6. No, let's just do 4 wagons there. Just so that we could have the storages line up like this. Yeah, that actually worked for me. Now, let's get belts. Get belts. And let's get our output this way, that way. Yeah, that works for me, right? And let's get connectors here. Give me a connector. Go there and there, and everyone's happy. And voila. Okay. All right. Last but not least is this. Awesome. That's pretty good. All right, I'm happy with this. And this is, we said this is electronics 2 station. This is accepting electronics 2. We're going to copy and paste. Actually, I missed loading station. Yes, that is all correct. Done. Oh, that's a nice little module there for electronics. I love it. And I guess we could have done this for, I mean, a lot of things now that I think about it. If I just copied this, except that it would need to go back into a main track. That's not completely out of the question, right? Should not be an issue. Okay, I like that. This little blueprint is perfect. I could just have like some kind of main track, right? So that the trains can go back into and merge back into the stuff there. If I wanted to expand this way, right? Yes, that is amazing. That is exactly what I want to do. And then last but not least, I think we need access to enter this. Are you going to be a problem here? That might be an issue, right? I think we need to pull that up a little bit further. How about we move it's just a little bit farther back there, and then we can extend this track, this, and then into here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No, why must you do this? Oh, because it's going into here, not the outside one. Here, there. All right, that's perfect. That's good. All right, this is good. This is good. What else do we need? I guess we could use this if we wanted to expand, right? If we wanted to expand on this production, we could. And if we wanted to expand on these guys in the future, go this way with that and have a massive production line. That works for me. All right, let's finish this off and then we will move on to the next thing. Let's get this and this need to be there and there. Copy this. Copy this. There, 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 there. Let's hope it didn't break my stuff here. Everyone has connections. Everyone's good. Everyone's happy. Yes, they are. Okay. Next thing here. This is also 3 items, so we could just do the same thing. Let's copy all of this. There, and let's place that. Oops, don't need that many. We just need 4. Let's do. Perfect. Okay, we're done. Except for this. This needs to be connected there and done. Oh yes, I love it. I love it. Okay, last but not least, we need to get this silicone poly thing going. And where are we going to do that? We said this is going to be molten silicone on an arc furnace, which needs graphite, needs coal, and needs sand. Okay, this is done already. Okay, yeah, come on, remove. It's done. Okay, sand, coal, graphite. We have graphite on the train. We have coal on the train. We don't have sand on a train. And if we wanted to get sand on a train, where would we do that? Where would we get sand on a train? I think sand on a train, we don't. We don't do it yet. We don't do sand on a train yet. So it could live here, right? Technically speaking. We'll let the trucks handle that. Okay. So we need to make silicone. We are going to make silicone. Let's make silicone. Shoot, I don't want to go far away from my sand. If my trucks are going to be delivering silicone, it's got to be close. It's got to be close. Maybe it's just going to go over here. No. I mean, I could just create another block, right? I could just create another block. Like I said, it's just so, this is so far away from thing. All right, let's just do it over here. This is where we're mining, right? We're mining stuff. This shouldn't be crazy. It should be crazy for us. All right, starting from the bottom or starting from the opposite side, let's see if we can create just a station. Quick little station. I want to make it 1 block there. This station will live here and back on the train tracks there. We're going to get How many modules? This is going to be a loader, so it's going to probably need to have 4 loaders like this. That. This is going to live right over here. And instead of glass, you're the silicone. And we're going to copy you and we're going to paste that and we're going to name this. We're going to name this Silicone Poly Depot. Save. And we're going to save there. Set. And we're going to get some storages here. It's probably going to be the big boy storages because why not? We're going to live there. And then we're going to get these guys. So one of these guys produces 36 molten silicone, which can then go into a silicone reactor, which accepts 18. This is going to be 18. You are needing hydrogen, so we're going to feed the hydrogen. Well, let's actually get. Actually, we could feed the hydrogen there, right? And we could do. No, why would we do this? We got to deal with slag. Another thing. We also have to deal with, oh man, exhaust. 24 exhaust. So that's not good, right? We got to deal with exhaust now too. Is this station in the right place? Yeah, I have an exhaust scrubber here. And there's no reason why we wouldn't be able to accept another over here. No, you know what? It's fine. Let's move this guy. Let's do this. Going to be our output, and if we did the same there, we could do this. Let's actually move out and there, flag out the back, and silicone poly be 1 2 1 2. Now, do we need more? Do we need more of these guys? Probably need to do this, and we could do. And I think that should be enough. We would get output into here, into there. And then hydrogen and the molten stuff will go out in there. Same here. Oh, do not connecting there. There. Oh, we can't get that connected. What if we balanced it? Probably balancing is not necessary, but we could do it. We could do it, right? Transport. Let's get a molten balancer. This guy right here. I've never used this guy. Always a first time, right? There's always a first time. And that is good. Rest of this stuff in here. There and there. All right. Next order of business is, do we want to crack this thing? I mean, do we want to scrub the exhaust? We probably do want to do that, but for now, I don't want to deal with it. So this needs to be cut and reconnected. There. Same thing over here. Done. Now we can just put this guy in here, this and this, and that is a silicone poly setup. I could get this a little bit more out of the way if I wanted. I could get this over here because we're going to need inputs. Let's get that there, and this guy can just go in here. That's good. All right, I like that. And then we are going to need our inputs, which are going to be graphite, coal, and sand. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get rails. We're going to pull in this way. And we're going to make this a little bit longer than usual. Let's get this right back in there. But this might be an issue if the trains start causing traffic. We are going to need some sort of traffic control here. So how would we do that? We could do the following. Get rid of this. Let's get a connection. from here. Well, can we do this? From there, from here, and just have our inputs this way. We could do this. All right, I want you to be straight and then in. Okay, because then I also want you to be able to back out this way if you needed to. I love it. All right. And now all we need is the following. We need sand, we need graphite, and we need coal. So we need a couple of new stations that are going to be added to our little situation here. So we need a loose station. Let's start with loose station. We're going to give it station module. Next is graphite, which is going to need a unit station. And we're going to give it station module. So we did this and this. It is completely doable. All right, this is sand, coal. This is graphite. Done. All modules empty, all modules full. I'm not looking at that, I'm looking at names. Okay. So graphite, unload, and what is the station here? What are we making here? Silicone poly. All right, we're gonna copy this, save it. We're gonna rename now. This is sand, unload, silicone poly. Next one is coal, unload, silicone poly. Done. Now storages. Storages can not do this without storages. These don't have to be big storages. So connected. Actually, this unloading. This also needs to be unloading. This also unloading. Copy and paste. And last but not least, we need these there. All right, easy enough. We have our 3 supplies. We're going to have coal at the bottom. We need one more there into there. I have graphite at the middle. There into here. And then we're going to have sand at the top on 3, right? Yeah, at the top there. Okay, good. Get some connections in. What is bottom one, right? What is the bottom one? It is sand. Go there, here, and you can. Next order of business will be our sand, which is an input on the 3rd level. Click 3rd level. There. Correct. Last but not least is flat lift for this. So 1, 2, 3. No. And this needs flipped. Can we flip? Nope. Flat lift. Flip the input. And is everyone happy? Okay, I hope so. Last but not least is getting the slag out. We're going to need to get slag. So, slag is going to live on a level. Yes. And you're going this way. And where could we get slag out? F. Come on, F, input. Oh, one more. F, there, up, and up. There we go. Last but not least, we have this last connection here. There we go. We're good. We're good. This is slag and needs to be at a high priority. I wonder if I should have like a slag dedicated truck. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good idea. I need to put this at a 3 priority. Okay, I'm happy with this setup here. It doesn't take up too much space. It's actually pretty good in terms of spacing. We have room to export on our farms if we wanted to. That's all looking pretty good. All right, I'm happy with that. This is silicone. Now all we need is all of the construction parts that we don't have. And that's going to be a problem because we don't have any construction parts. We do not have any construction parts. Now this should all work. I'm going to need a couple of things, right? I need a dedicated silicone poly train. I have a line for that. No, I do not. I need to build the line. We're going to say silicone poly depot into this here. Where's my silicone poly? Right over here. Silicone poly doesn't have a name. Let's actually give that a name. Silicone poly electronics 2 station. Save. Edit, actually. Let's give this name here to all of our stations. This is electronics 1, electronics 2 station. Pretty crazy name. This is plastic electronics 2 station. This is, come on, edit. This copper electronics 2 station. This is glass. Actually, let's fix this. There we go. Electronics 2 station done. All right, now let's look at all of our stations and add these stops because we need to add these stops. There we go. All right, we're looking at copper. Copper needs a copper bus unloading station. Let's add this. No, where are we? Copper plates outpost, copper plates bus unloading. Let's add a station here, right? Station copper. Okay, now glass. Glass needs another stop, so we're going to just say there. All right, thanks for moving again. We have glass, copper, we have plastic. Plastic doesn't have a train assigned yet. Plastic needs this stop right over here. We have electronics. Do we have an electronics train yet? No. Not. Also, this needs an icon. There. Copy the colors. Done. Do we have the electronics line? We don't have the electronics line, so we need to create that. New line. Right? New line. Electronics. Electronics. E for electronics. And we're going to add a stop. And it's going to be this stop. Except you're not going to be the primary stop. You're going to be the secondary stop. Your line also needs to be able to refuel. And we're going to make the main electronics station over here. This is where you pick up electronics. Done. So you are primary electronics. All right, let's go over here. These guys need to have this thing here. So when all modules empty, all these guys need to have that. When all modules empty, when all modules empty, when all modules empty, and when all. The trains are only requested here when modules are empty. And that is our solution to the pollution. All right, where are we standing with construction parts now to build all of this stuff? This needs to be built. Now I kind of want to do this for electronics like I have over here, but no, because we have, I guess we have the copper here and we already have the silicon. Wait a second, this is rubber. This is not even electronics. Wait a minute, we don't have an electronics station yet. We do not. This is rubber going into electronics. We do have an electronics. This is an electronics station. What we don't have is a rubber station. And a rubber station could definitely be created right over here. We don't need to go far for this. Why not, right? Why don't we put rubber in here? Let's actually place this so that I don't miss spot. Again. Okay, and you will go There. Now, do we need to move back a little bit more? I think we do have to move back a little bit. Let's again there. Come in there. Come in there. I think if we wanted to bypass, we need to have this options here. So let's go in here, here. And can we sneak in there? Yes, we can. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Let me sneak in there. You can do it. You can do it, buddy. Come on. Do it. Do it. Where are you? There. There. All right. That is kind of shady, but also completely doable. Okay. All right. So we just copy. This is another station. Rubber. So what we need to do now is be able to access. You see it. Then this guy can also come in. Issue. There actually. Okay, so that's a crisscross applesauce. All right, that looks good. Yes, trains can come in, hang out, do the thing. We can only be able to have one rubber train unless this. Come on, do it. Let me do it. There and perfect. All right, let's get way more options. And we have a waiting area for all of our friends. Back a little bit more. There. No, I didn't like that. Here we go. Just same path here. Same path. Oh, yeah, we can take that. Perfect. I'll take that. Okay. And that's a waiting area, right? Hoping that we don't get into any issues here. If I make this a no stop loop, exclusive zone, no stop. No stop. Right, then everyone just kind of has to wait on this waiting area. Awesome. All right. I like that. I like that very much, actually. That looks perfect. Crisscross applesauce. Rubber station. Let's see if we could sneak out some rubber from here. That would be great. Tight. We get rubber. And actually, yes, we can. We'll this. Let's get some flat lifts. There, and that is our rubber station, just in case we needed it for any future issues. We are going to call this Rubber Depot. All set, and that is a beautiful, beautiful train or rail. I love it. I love it very much. Okay. This is electronics. This is wood. Now, look at our trains here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 trains that need to be created. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do new train. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, this is not the train. It's all flat wagon train. So let's do, I think we're doing 4, right? I think 5 would be overkill. All these stations are 4. Yes, they are. 1, 2, 4, done. And you will be assigned to this. Build. New train. Your line is plastic. Build. New train. Your line is silicone. Build. And finally, your line is electronics. Okay, that's good. Perfect. Silicone. I need a new train now. Electronics. Build. All right, and that's going to cost us a tremendous amount of vehicle parts, which we do not have, but we definitely can have it because now we have all the parts required except for vehicle part 1. But we have steel, we have glass on the network, we have mechanical parts, and we also have electronics on the trains, on our train network. So we could, in theory, train everything 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all the parts that we need for vehicle part 2s. But I think I'm going to leave that for the next episode because it has just been way too much awesomeness in this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Let me know what you think of today's episode. I feel like we have not had a more productive episode than we have had today. This has been amazing. Now, all we need to do is stockpile construction parts and we should be okay. We got to start thinking about contracts pretty soon, but I love this loop-de-loop that we have going on here, okay? I think it's amazing. I think it's going to be great. And I think that we could get some sort of city block situation going on over here. We should have the room for it. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit that like button. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.